Alright everyone, welcome to Jasper's History Facts. Well, today is March the 15th, and on this day in 44 BC, Julius Caesar, while serving as dictator of Rome, was making reforms and changes to the law when he was assassinated by many in the Senate, including a man named Brutus. So obviously this is probably one of the most famous assassinations in human history. Part of that is, a lot of it, I should say, not just part of it, a lot of it is up to do with Shakespeare. Not to say people didn't know about it, and people wouldn't know about it today, but what made it very popular in the common knowledge of people is Shakespeare. Certainly, most people have to learn Shakespeare. Shakespeare obviously was very popular. But this assassination is honestly kind of a big deal. These people kind of made one of the worst decisions they could have made. One of the reasons that they would have done this is because they thought, as dictator, Caesar was starting to consolidate power into more than just being a dictator. Now, obviously there's a modern idea of what a dictator is and an idea of like what we think of a dictator, but that's not what the Romans would have thought of it as. A dictator for the Romans, who are the ones who invented the idea of a dictator, is someone who comes in, has complete control kind of the government, but it's only for a few years. It's only for about 2 years that they'll have a dictator, and the idea was sometimes in times of crisis, you need a centralized figure that can move things more efficiently than, let's say, a whole Senate could, or other, big groups could. Because big groups, they might argue, they might say, oh, this is not a good idea, this is not a good idea. But if you have one person, and that one person's ideas gets carried out, it is more likely that, okay, things are going to move faster. And that's why the Romans invent this. However, Caesar kind of starts abusing it to some degree, and he's kind of moving towards an emperor. A lot of people think he was an emperor. He was not. The first emperor is actually his nephew, adopted son, Octavian, better known as Augustus. Eventually changed his name. But obviously there's the very famous saying of, when Caesar sees that Brutus was killing him, he says, "E tu, Brutus?" Now, and did he say that exactly? We don't know. But makes for a good story. And now you know.